Well, a little video this today with Karamba. She's now been with us for 30 days. She has about 20 times. She's been about 20 times under saddle in that time. And just kind of trying to build this mare. She's an 11-year-old brood mare from Amy McHugh, Jackass Mountain Ranch. She not been ridden before, but handled pretty well. And basically, I've just worked on her, building her strength, getting her to find the feel of me when I change my balance, using my seat to get her moving as much as possible, her following my seat, and learning to guide and stay between the balance of the hackamore and my body. We've gotten her to the point where you can just saddle her up, basically, and just get on and go. I don't have to warm her up or do anything like that. She's pretty good about just saddling and going. I just got on her here in this clip, and I'm just moving her around. I try to, when she wants to go, I don't really hold her up too much, and I'll let her go a little bit and then maybe use my seat and slow her down, or go ahead if she wants to really go. Just go with her. It's taken a while to get her comfortable at the canter, going around where she can, she's had to build quite a bit of strength to get to where she can maintain it for very long. And she's starting to do that pretty nicely, and also let me guide her as we go. And what I try to do is use the smallest amount of influence on the reins as possible and let her figure it out. I kind of try to set it up and let her figure it out. She's getting to where she's built quite a bit of strength and is becoming a lot smoother. Tends not to drop her shoulder too much. Right there, I can stop her with my seat, and I'll set her up just by little touches on the inside rein, and then trying to come through with the outside of my body to get her to change directions there. I'm not concerned with trying to set her head or anything else like that. I'm thinking from the back, the hind end forward, not the other way around. And she'll let me kind of take her head and work a little bit there, but I don't want to do it so much where it disrupts the cadence of the gait. I want her to really build that nice smooth cadence and to listen. So I try to stay pretty fluid and relaxed. She's well on my seat, and I'm working on just setting these things up. The transition on from side to side, if I'm light enough, she really does well and maintains the shape I put her in pretty well. But it's easy to get in their way here, so I'm trying to just ask her a little bit and then watching her reaction and setting her up. And especially in the beginning of a session, I want to just ask her a little bit, let her find it. And the key for me is to let her find her own balance and things. I want her to listen, but I'm not in too big a hurry. I've just started I limit my backing up. At this point, I don't do a lot of it, but I want to start rocking her when she stops, start rocking her back on her hind end and then trying to get her to come over her hocks a little bit to engage that hind end through the turns. And a lot of times it's just a matter of just kind of setting it up, try to let it happen, set it up again, try to let it happen. We run into each other every once in a while, and I try not to just think, I'm just going to keep making what I want the easiest thing to do. The main goal, especially with an older horse like this and a mare, is to make her feel kind of comfortable and confident and happy in her job. And I don't want to submit her too much. I don't want to get her grouchy, because I think she's gone 11 years doing whatever she wants, and so I have to just talk her into it. I mean, I don't let her get away with stuff, but I also, I'm trying to build a relationship of cooperation, of respect. I want her to respect me, what I do, but not fear me or feel, that I'm trying to dominate her too much. As you can see, I'm working with the fence there a little bit, and I try to just pick up, set it up, and let her figure it out, and then just kind of ride her through. And as she's getting a lot better about this. Like I say, she's got about 20 times with a rider on her back, and only ridden probably 16 times where she has not been on a lead line or been supported by somebody on the ground. So I really feel like she's on the right road. She's not afraid of somebody being up there. She's she's comfortable with a rider on her back, and pretty happy. She's got some refinement to make, and we're working on that, where she just kind of follows things, but I don't want to bind her too much at this point. I just want to set it up where she can start to use her hind end to engage. She keeps the flexibility. I don't want all the bend in her body coming through her neck. Only I want it to start to come into her hips and her reach underneath herself and learn to balance with that weight. And then the transition from one side to the other, get that a lot smoother. I work on backing a little bit, but not too much at this point. I want her to feel like when I pick up on her a little bit, she rocks her weight back, but I don't want her backing up or getting, coming off the hackamore in a fearful way. I want her to just respond to where the hackamore is. And I'll get her kind of looking for that. And I've started to kind of push her to the hackamore a little bit in the trot, and just use one side or the other, and try to get to where I can push her up and she releases it a little bit. Really long at this point, but just enough to where we're kind of talking here. I'm just trying to keep it pretty loose, but she's starting to feel it. She's rating her speed. She's staying with something, finding the balance in little bits. Learning to maintain her posture as she makes these turns. I think it's important not to make too hard of turns at this time. That you want to give them a chance to come through there with some fluidity. She's starting to find that balance every once in a while, and I'll kind of just encourage her to look for the balance of that hackamore. And then you'll see, she'll give it to me a couple times, and then I'll go loose and let her relax. And just on a long rein, once I get a few times of her kind of searching for the balance in the hackamore. I think it's real important that we do this. It's a step, one is 2 steps, and then we go on. Don't try to set them up and, keep their heads all gathered. I think when we do that too soon, we lose the hind end reaching. They may get that nice headset, but we lose the hind end reaching. And so little bits. She's starting to let me kind of move her body in the lateral, but it's pretty green at this time. And I don't want to put too much lateral on her at this point because I'm going to lose some forward if I do that too soon. I've had that trouble in the past. I put a lot of back and a lot of lateral on my horses. And especially with these Iberian horses, they tend to get behind things, and they'll use those, sideways and backwards moves to resist going forward. And forward is really the key, I believe, at this point.